Senior Report thanks Edmund Besch of Bristol Burgess Insurance Agency, 65 East Main Street, Westfield, for his generous grant to provide news to seniors. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding is provided by a grant from Absolute Care of Westfield, committed to returning the favor to those who spent a lifetime caring for others. Absolute Care is located at 26 Cass Street in Westfield. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the Docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. Senior Report with Reed Powers thanks Westfield's Schultz Chevy for a generous grant to inform seniors of important news. Over 50 years of service to Westfield by Chevrolet, Schultz Chevy across from the school. The physicians of Jamestown Primary Care are happy to sponsor the Senior Report. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Senior Report is broadcast live throughout northern Chautauqua County on Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. each week. Call in and share a thought, make a comment, ask a question, or simply wish someone a happy birthday on Chautauqua County's only live call-in senior program. Since 1995, Reed has been bringing viewers hundreds of interesting guests, informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
I don't know where the host came from. Hey, good morning. What a lovely day we have here in Chautauqua County. It's balmy out. The birds are singing. No skiing, no snow. It's going to be up in the 60s probably tomorrow, the next day. We're enjoying a wonderful latent summer, and I want to say congratulations to all those folks in Chautauqua County that are out there having fun. It's wonderful. Deer hunters are finished pretty much, but there's still a lot of hunting going on, and I don't know. It's a bonanza year for deer hunters. We talked about that last week with our outdoorsman geezer, Don Patuch. And he told us that one of the reasons there's a lot of doe permits out is they're trying to cut down on the herd. And the people that sponsor the doe permits, for the most part, are the insurance companies that have to repair your car. Hey, there's two sides of the deer up here, huh? Let's say that, incidentally, if you want to have some fun with your friends, ask them, what is the deadliest animal in North America? And it's a white-tailed deer. It kills more people than any other animal because of the auto accidents. Oh well, moving right along. We have a lot of stuff happening on TV. It's madness out there. The fiscal cliff, that's all you hear about. I think it's just a hyped-up song and dance that Congress is doing, the rich and powerful, to initiate a passage of a new big tax on the middle class. Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. I get that little murmur in the background that says, hey, this is a game they're playing. They'll save us from the fiscal cliff at the very last minute. Although the Republicans are saying Obama's going to take us over the fiscal cliff. We'll go bankrupt, we'll have all kinds of new taxes, craziness will be going on, and then you come back and you'll save us from the Republicans, who will obviously vote against the fiscal cliff plan that he has. Oh, politics is such a fun game. And of course, the rich and powerful basically taking over our Congress. They either control it or they are themselves in person, especially in the Senate. And it's getting pretty rough for the middle class. We're becoming an extinct species. They should list us as an endangered species, the middle class. That the people that don't make a lot of money, they don't make their 100 grand, but they probably make 40 or 50 and survive and struggle along. And they're the ones that are going to tax. You mark my words. You heard it first on Senior Report. Wait for new taxes. Speaking of which, I do have to remind people, it's very early for this, but when you go for your school tax benefit that you get, make sure that you go in before March 1st. And if you want to change insurance companies, this is very, very important and very close. December 7th. You can switch your insurance companies up until December 7th. At that point, it's adios amigos for another year, no matter how awful it is. I just switched to one that doesn't charge me a premium. It saves me $2,400 a year for the premiums I'm paying on my wife and me. I figure, what the heck, I can pay another $10 for a doctor's visit at that rate. I haven't been to the doctor. I went once in the last 5 years. Dr. Burke, Bob Burke, a great, great physician. Noted as one of the best in the whole state, I might add, in the whole world, I think, over in Mayville. Bob Burke, congratulations. He set up Rails to Trails, too. That was one of his pet projects, and it's a wonderful project. Now, you can go all over the county on old railroads, and it's just terrific. And the Rails to Trails folks, they insure you against somebody doing something stupid on your property, which is wonderful. And they're very careful and caring about the properties. All right, moving along, the Obama fiscal cliff, as I said, the Republicans claim he's going to let us go right over it, and then he's going to save us. And the war in Afghanistan rages on. You don't hear a thing about it, excepting I noticed that the Congress has called for an end to it now, said get our kids out of there now. They're killing us. Our own friends are killing us. It's madness over there. And it's costing us trillions of dollars. My God, the money we're sending over there for this war. Oh, Lordy. We could give senior citizens their health care again. They're going to take away a lot more, I'm sure. They'll cut back on Medicaid, which is half senior citizens, I might add, and they will cut back on Medicare, which is going to be, they've already cut almost $1 trillion out of Medicare. They want to cut it back some more. Holy mackerel. Seniors, you have one choice. Vegetables, you can go to the supermarket and you can buy food, or you can buy medicine, and most of them have to pay for the medicine, so it's pretty expensive. And incidentally, the AARP claims that over 9 million seniors are hungry now, going hungry, because their Social Security hasn't kept up, thanks to Congress not giving us a fair COLA. So they'll all wind up eating this stuff like they did during the Depression. That's cat food, friends. And I tell you, it's outrageous. Get in touch with your congressman. Our new congressman is Mr. Reed, Tom Reed. Tell him to stop fooling around with our COLA. Give us a fair COLA for our Social Security. We've lost over half our Social Security dollar purchasing value in the last 10 years because of the fake COLA, the phony federal figures, the core inflation. Oh, there's no inflation, Mr. Powers. You don't need a cost of living adjustment. Yeah, that's why we're down to half what we used to have 10 years ago. It's not back to history. Give it to him. I talked to Tom Reed personally. He was here on our program a couple of months ago, and I pointed out this is a very important matter, and nobody seems to care about it. Even the AARP has their program to do away with hunger for seniors, but they don't mention the fact that the cause of hunger is that you're not getting your Social Security because there's no COLA anymore. So they're taking Social Security and they're doing away with it. When you're getting half of what you used to get because they didn't give you a fair COLA, give me a break. So forget the core inflation, which shows there's no inflation after they fiddled it around, seniors. All right, enough of that. Congress wants us out of Afghanistan. I agree. We shouldn't have been in there in the first place, George Bush. But look at the money the munitions makers are making. Let's get to something. I got a pleasant, we have the best senior groups in Chautauqua County in the whole world. And churches, townships, villages, whole communities, they come together and they form a senior citizen group. And they have a wonderful bunch of them here. I'm going to give you a couple of pieces of information about them. Great Belt seniors, they have a full force exercise class. And if you want to, most of the senior groups do have exercise. Just to sitting in a chair and working out tension, all the way to jumping around the place or running laps. Incidentally, they have 4 new members over there. That's a terrific thing. You need new members. You have to replace the guys that leave for one reason or another. Go to Florida or elsewhere. Let's see. I got a few notes here I wanted to mention. First of all, the vice president over there is Margaret Jagoda, and she works very hard for the Brockton Portland seniors. I should have mentioned that. Brockton Portland. They have quite a gathering over there, and incidentally, if you want to join them, just look up Margaret Jagoda or Alberta Blakely or some of those other people, Art Donovan, that you know in the Brockton Portland area. Portland is a bigger area than Brockton, but you don't know that. Zangi is the treasurer over there, and she says, we got plenty of dough, and we're going to send $100 to the food pantry. How about that? Seniors sending money to the food pantry. And we do have a food pantry all over. Every community has one, a community kitchen or a food pantry. Westfield, I know, has both. And it's wonderful to support these because there are a number of people in this country, including upstate New York and Chautauqua County, who don't have enough money to eat properly, buy food. And seniors are a big part of that, I might add. Happy birthday, Charles Redding, Mary Presto, and Bob Jagoda. Mary Trippy, too. 59 years of marriage for Pat, 59 years for Pat Zangi. How about that? And Lena Elliott, 15 years. Seniors have marriages that go on and on and on. Christmas party at noon, December 17th at St. Stephen's Hotel. Bob and Margaret Jagoda and Ruth Neal will be doing the honors. Bring a $5 Christmas gift. Everybody likes a little Christmas gift and wrap it up in pretty paper, tinsel and whatever. And you're going to have prime rib at that party. They don't fool around over there. There you go. Don't forget, December 7th is the deadline to change your insurance for your Medigap insurance. Medicare does not pay for a lot of your costs, but if you buy a Medigap insurance program, it covers most of the costs that are not covered. Hello, good morning, Mary Ann Spanos. We'll see you in a minute. Let's switch over to Silver Creek. They have a great crowd over there, and I don't know, they have huge numbers that show up. Irene Connie does a lot of work over there. She does she set up a pine cone turkey at their Thanksgiving. Can you imagine making a turkey out of pine cones? I'm sure it was beautiful. I wish I had one. Hello, Ed Newman over there at Silver Creek. He's the president, and he does a job. They're trying to get a sign out front. They're dickering with the town. The town's giving a little trouble about that, but I think it'll all work out. Bingo called by Marv Smith over at Silver Creek, and every club has bingo. Okay. I'm running out of stuff here. They tell me I've got plenty of stuff, but I'm running out of time. December 4th, there's a meeting coming up, and don't forget that. And Suski called bingo. Steger, High Rise, they have a bunch over there. They have wonderful dinners and, let's see, turkey, stuffing, potatoes and gravy, sweet potatoes, green beans, potato salad, rice, macaroni salad, and rolls, and lemonade and coffee, and a dessert. How about that for a great meal? They're having a 50-50, and incidentally, 50-50 is a lot of seniors do that. It raises quite a bit of funds. It's gambling, though. Gambling. Westfield, last but not least, and they met at the Y regularly. The YMCA. It's right across, next door, down the road from the library. And I was telling people the library in Westfield is set up as an old Greek building, and it is beautiful. But Upstairs, they used to have a glass floor. Since then, they carpeted it over because of electrocutions. In the winter, you go up there when the charge sticks, and you scuffle your feet along on that glass. As kids, we used to do that and had leather shoes on. And you come downstairs, and you get an inch-long to 2-inch spark off your fingertip when you touch the first person you met. They carpeted it over. They don't want any more of that. Shirley Copine does a job in Westfield. She's the president, and they have a new member, Lorraine Brosda. Congratulations, Lorraine. I want to say happy anniversary to Nancy and Richard Sanick. You know, anniversaries are so fantastic with seniors. 50 years, I've been married 50 years, the same thing. They're going to go to a trip on December 11th to Cleveland to visit the James Garfield house. You know, the poor guy was assassinated. And the Christmas display at G's Nelia Park. You know, some of these whole blocks have Christmas displays that you can see from outer space. They're beautiful. And they have music they play and all the lights switch around. Oh, you've seen them. They're fantastic. New officers, President Shirley Copine, Vice President Jen Harper, Secretary Sylvia Colby, and Treasurer Dolores Kaufman. Unanimously accepted. Nobody wants it. It's hard work. Okay, December 13th is the next meeting. Potluck, as usual, at the YWCA. Bring your own table service and a dish to pass. And a $5 wrapped gift for the Christmas spirit. All right, guys? I think there's some more. I don't have time for more? I got one more. One more. Okay. Hello, Gladys Hess. And hello, Jamestown, which has joined our partnership. Jamestown is running our shows, so you can catch them down there. And hello, what was her name?
I think Rosie.
Rosie. She's running the shop. Hi, Rosie. Senior Report recommends people listen to Jamestown, or at least watch their television, their access. We got a guy coming up here right now, just as soon as we have our public service announcement, and he will give us the information as it rises. Here you go. This is for you, PSA.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults, and one person dies from melanoma every hour. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
And here he is, John Hamels. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Reed, and good morning. I'm over here. There you go.
There you go.
I always feel like I'm a disembodied voice sometimes. Good morning, Marianne. Good morning, everybody. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate my card partner. I don't know if you know Mel Swanson from Sherman. He is like the winningest coach in basketball in all of Chautauqua County. He hit 1,000 wins the other day.
Holy
and
mackerel.
his son posted it. He said, imagine winning a basketball game every day for 3 years in a row.
Not possible.
It's unbelievable. So I tried to increase his stats by posting that his wins were 1,270 or 37 because I added another couple hundred wins for Mel and me because we beat our wives in cards.
Yeah.
But I was promptly scolded by his wife. Okay, folks, Reed makes quite a few commentaries about the economy. Well, Reed, I had our research group, our staff that does political and economic research for us, so that when we come on here, we sound like we know what we're talking about. And I finally have proof, Reed, to support your claim that the dollar has shrunk for us in spending power, and I have it right here on the table. Randy, can you get a shot of this?
Well,
I'm going to unveil it right now.
It's obvious from the shrinking package.
The shrinking
package.
Once upon a time, you could go and you could get yourself a French fry, but now there it is, folks. Here's my hand. It is shrunk at least by half. And you've been saying 47%, so there you go, Reed.
There you go. You're getting 47% for your buck. And then they're taking another 47% out of the product.
There you
so
go.
You're getting 25 cents worth what you used to get 10 years ago.
So your cat food, your can, you might see it even smaller yet, but there it is, folks. There's proof that Reed was right.
Is that a microscopic thing? Did you really reduce that somehow in
I
size?
can't, my research crew brought this in, and all I can tell you is that's the facts.
Oh my God. Well, it's just like everything else. You know, the pound is now 12 ounces.
That's an amazing thing.
And it's the same size package.
But you know, when I get on the scale, it's still 16.
You can't beat that, right?
No. Okay, so on to whatever. This week I've been thinking, what am I going to talk about? Oh, man. You try to be somewhat positive, but anyways, I finally figured out what the problem is with Congress. Okay, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I think what's happened is the elections are over, and they're sitting around and they're thinking, oh man, the world's going to end on December 21st. So what the heck? Let's just kick back and see what happens. I think we got like
that's only according to the Aztecs.
The Mayans.
No,
but I think
One
think
of those, them
you know, the
Indian
CIA, the FBI, they've done some research for these guys, and they said, I wouldn't waste all that energy. Go have a party,
Do whatever the hell
pre-Christmas
you want.
party, but don't worry about anything else, because obviously they have this lame duck mentality out there. We're sliding closer and closer to whatever they call this economic ruin. I feel like, no offense, Marianne, but I feel like we're in Greece or in Spain or someplace out there in Europe right now that's the economy is ready to take a nosedive, and they're sitting around saying, well, why don't we wait till the 22nd of December? If the world doesn't end, okay, we'll get busy.
There you go.
Back to you, Reed.
Thank you. Marianne just flinched because Spanos is Greek. She's Greek, and she's the first Greek person we've ever had on this show, I might add, and she does a job. Your Slovakia is celebrated. I read about it in the newspaper somewhere.
It's actually my husband's Souvlaki.
He's
a good cook.
She likes to blame it all on her husband, but no. December 7th, cutoff for insurance. So, Marianne, you are still running the Office for Aging. It still exists, right?
It still exists.
Congress has cut you, the state has cut you, the legislature has cut your funding. You're down to nickels on a dollar now, but you're still functioning. You somehow are magical with the penny.
Well, I think I came from very thrifty parents, and I feel like it's my responsibility to be as fiscally responsible as possible with these dollars, and we're always looking at ways to do things differently to save money for the county. I'm a taxpayer too, and so the funding is coming out of my pocket as well, and I try to treat it as such. And all of my staff, I couldn't do this job alone. It takes all the people that work with me to really bring you the programs and services, but they are less. We're able to serve less seniors because of all the cuts. At some point, you can't maintain everything, but we've been trying to maintain the most critical services, and we continue to look for ways to bring more money into the county, ways that are not grant or government funded. And we started that with that personal emergency response button. You've seen the commercials, I've fallen and I can't get up. Well, the Office for the Aging offers Chautauqua County medical monitoring, and we offer that to anybody in the county using the buying power of the county to provide a discount for everybody. Now, the seniors can take advantage of our senior program, which will help pay for that service. But if you're economically well off or you're not a senior and you want to get that personal emergency response button, you can privately pay for it at $25.
Through the county?
Through the county, through the Office for the Aging.
Big discount.
And that's a lot less. I've researched it. Most of them are $30 or more a month. A lot of them have installation fees. We don't have that as either. So, we're doing this, and it brings a little bit of money into our office to cover our back office costs. And, if there is any profit, which there usually isn't, but that would just go into providing more services for seniors. So it's a win-win situation.
Great. So the monitor is cheap. What's it cost a senior?
If they privately pay for it, it's $25 a month.
Okay, if they're in need.
If they're in need, it's a sliding scale, depending on what they can afford. Like all of the Office for the Aging home care services, we look at their finances and we say, you know, it looks like you could afford to pay 5% of the cost. So this is what your monthly cost is going to be. Or, you know, maybe they're really poor and they are not eligible for Medicaid, then we might tell them, well, you just donate what you can afford.
Well, a lot of, what do we have, about 50,000 seniors?
We have 30,800 seniors in this county.
30,800.
And that's over 60. I had a gentleman yesterday who called me, who was quite upset that at 59 he couldn't be designated as a senior. And I wish that I could designate him as a senior at 59, but what the Office for the Aging has to be concerned with is we get federal and state funds, and those state and federal funds have to be used for 60 and over. Now, we do have one program that starts at 55, and that's our senior employment program.
Also 55 and alive, the driving program, which now is for anybody at any age.
Right. But, you know, as I said, if we're using any kind of federal or county funds, like for our dining out program, or what was the other program?
How many restaurants do you have for the dining out?
We have about 6 restaurants. Brockton Green Arch, Casadega Surefine, Grandma's Kitchen, not the Dutch Village, Meters in Ripley.
Very good restaurant.
The Rainbow Inn in Dunkirk.
Now you can eat there for peanuts, right?
We ask for a $3.50 donation.
For a whole dinner?
For a dinner, and we pair that with the money we get from the state and federal government, and that allows us to pay the restaurant the full cost of the meal.
So for $3.50 you can get a full dinner at a nice restaurant.
Exactly.
Using this, you have to have a ticket or something?
Yes, you sign up at the Office for the Aging. We, you know, because we're using federal and state dollars, we have to have a registration form, but that's a one-time thing. And then you can order tickets. You can stop by and get them, or you can.
Do you mail them?
You can call us up and we'll mail you out the order form, and then we'll send you the tickets via mail as well.
So there's nothing to it, huh?
No.
Hey, seniors, you can have a night out.
Right.
And in this county, and incidentally, when I said 50,000, I was referring to the AARP number, which is 50 years. The associated, the senior groups are considering 50, and then some are 55, and then some are 60, and some are actually 65, like the federal government.
Right.
For Social Security or for
and Medicare.
Medicare. Yeah.
And I do want to just clarify, this is open enrollment time, and as Reed said, until December 7th.
It's funny, you know what December 7th is also?
Isn't that
Pearl
Harbor Day?
What a coincidence.
I know. We were commenting on that. But this is the time that you can change your Advantage plans, your Medicare D plans, as well as, you know, if you're on a regular Medicare plan and you want to change to an Advantage plan, you can do that. Now, the Office for the Aging has certified health insurance counselors, and what they do is they don't pick the plan for you, but they help narrow the field for you, and they are very, very busy right now. So if you really need some advice before December 7th, I urge you to call on Monday and get an appointment.
Okay, there you go. I just switched over to, I shouldn't mention names, but they don't have a charge. And you do pay a slight bit more. Most of them have a charge, $100 or something, you know, to get the Medigap insurance. And this one does not, and has been highly advertising it. And they have slightly higher charges, though, for doctor's visits and so forth, and you have to use their hospital. You have to go to Dunkirk. And,
but you know, that works for your situation, and that's the important thing, and the difficult thing about health insurance counseling is it really depends on what's going on with you,
Right.
what your income is, what
your diseases are,
what your
illnesses.
problems are,
Right.
and whether you should stay on regular Medicare, traditional Medicare with a Medigap, or you should go to an Advantage plan. And it also makes a difference on what drugs you're on to choose your Medicare Part D plan. And the neat thing is that our counselors will put those drugs, or you can do it if you're computer savvy. You can go on to the Medicare website and put in your drugs, and it will pop out 3 plans, a comparison of plans, and
Yeah.
so that you can make an informed choice about the Medicare D plan that's right for you.
Right, especially if you're not using a generic. If you're not using a generic drug, you're going to get scalped alive. But
Well-
if you're using a generic drug, it's very cheap.
Well, and it depends, again, on the Medicare D plan. Some are better than others. And then I also encourage people to talk with their pharmacist. I am on a particular drug, and I was put on a generic, and
I
it
could
wasn't...
see your eyes were glazed.
And it wasn't working for me. And my sister, who's a pharmacist locally, was able to get me into a plan with the Pfizer Corporation that only requires, I can get the brand name for a $4 copay. So there are certain drug companies that have their own little plan outside of your insurance coverage that might decrease your copays. So talk
Yeah.
to your pharmacist. They
And
can help you.
let me slip in a little bit of additional advice. Check your drugs. You know, even pharmacists make mistakes. My wife got her prescription, and we found the pills looked strange and different. And I checked them out, and they said, "Oh my God, bring them back." They were pills for prostate cancer that they'd given her for some minor thing she had to take a pill for.
I hope those are few and far between.
Yeah, they are few and far between, but they do make errors. So double check them anyway. Make sure they look the same. We're with Mary Ann Spanos. Dr. Spanos happens to be the director for the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging, and she is the Office of the Aging is almost financing itself at this point. They've lost all kinds of money from everybody anywhere, and when there's a financial crisis, what do? You throw the seniors under the bus. They're not going to be around for long anyway, so you might as well knock them off a little earlier. Do away with a lot of their health care and their food and so forth and so on. But Mary Ann is, she pinches a penny until it squeaks. She uses everything. It's like they say about the pig, you know.
Well, I hope that we, honor our seniors and not throw them under the bus. And one of the other things that Office for the Aging has been successful with the help of seniors to do this last couple years is to develop the Mac McCoy Fund at the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation. And this is allowing us to accept memorial donations and donations of any kind that can be put in this fund and then grow. And every year we'll be able to receive proceeds from the fund to help seniors or to start new programs. And I think it's really the way to go. In many other states, the Offices for the Aging are not in local government. They are independent not-for-profits, and that's usually a thing that independent not-for-profits do is they establish a endowment fund. And so this is our endowment fund. It's very small right now, but it is gaining as people pass away and maybe they weren't able to donate to the Office for the Aging in their lifetime, and so they can now say, in their obituaries, please make memorial donations to the Office for the Aging. And
the Mac McCoy Fund.
And the Mac McCoy Fund. And we had a very sweet person pass away from our office that I want to mention, and that's Mary Ella Faust. I don't know if you ever met Mary Ella, but she worked till she was almost 80 years old, and she was a staunch supporter of seniors and an advocate for all of you. And she really kept track of all of our finances and our reporting on what was going on in senior services in Chautauqua County. And we miss her terribly. But as she passed away, she named the Office for the Aging to receive memorial donations on her behalf.
I tried to make a memorial donation.
You did?
Yeah, and I called in and said, who would I make the check out to? And they said, well, you can't. I said, why not? You have to die first.
No. And the Office for the Aging, we're always doing fundraisers as well. So we have several fundraisers a year, and that money also goes into
How much
the
you got in the
McMcCoy
fund now?
Fund.
Man,
It's
roughly, you know.
it's over $7,000.
Holy mackerel, that's more than I dreamed of.
Right. Well, because we haven't gotten too many memorial donations, about a half a dozen of those. The staff has been very diligent, and I don't know if you recall, you were talking about 50-50. Last year and this year at the picnic, the senior picnic, we did a 50-50, and because usually that has to go to help support the picnic, but we had so many corporate sponsors, we were able to put the 50-50 money right into the McMcCoy Office for the Aging Fund. So the seniors all over Chautauqua County have helped to make that possible.
There you go. Well, you
we
should-
needed to make $5,000 to endow the fund, but
You're
of
set.
course, it's got to get a lot bigger before we're going to see proceeds from that.
I'll give you a tip from an old Unitarian Universalist minister of All Souls Church in New York. His name was Don Harrington. And Don was noted for when one of his congregation was very ill in the hospital, he would visit them and he would hold their hand and he'd suggest that they should make an endowment memorial fund. And they did. He brought in more dough to that church. So one of your folks is very ill in the hospital. Don't forget them. Hey, good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning, and good morning to your guests. I understand you're talking about an endowment and creating a fund and so forth, but I was wondering, unfortunately, as folks grow old and pass away, their children sometimes will find that they have a number of things around the home that need to be liquidated, but it's still in good condition. Do you have any advice for family members when their loved ones pass away? What do you do with their things other than donate it to the usual places? Is there some place in the county that,
Hold a big yard sale. Sell them.
but I mean, can it benefit others, I guess?
Certainly, it really depends on what the item is. There are people that, especially specialty items like scooters and hospital beds, some of those items can go to, there are many loan closets around the county, but many times we get calls for those specialty items, and we're able to link them up with a senior who can use that. So we do that. We haven't taken huge items that then we sell, if that was what you were asking about. But there are some specialty items that people have approached us, and we certainly, since we touch about 300 homebound seniors, and then we also have our friends in the Department of Social Services who are serving many disabled and seniors, we'll put out an email, can somebody use this certain item, and we usually find a home for it.
Sure. If actually, there are tremendous organizations that can use these items, I'm sure. Okay, guys, I did want to mention that it looks like the Congress is definitely going to cut back sharply on Medicaid, Medicare. And so if you are barely able to get around, check with your doctor. My advice is order your buddy mobilized chair or the hover round or whatever they call them. What do they call them now? There's all kinds of different brands, I guess.
Yeah,
But
scooters, I guess you're talking about.
You can ride around on them, and they're wonderful, and they cost a bundle. I mean, they cost about $3-4 grand at least. But this is the first thing I suspect they're going to cut away. So
Well-
if you need one, get it now. Okay.
Well, I did want to give some information. Seniors have been asking me what's in the healthcare reform law, and this is actually not just for seniors. The healthcare reform law is going to affect everyone. So how do we figure out what's in there, what's the fight about, to get some unbiased information? And I really was talking to your crew before we started here today, and the Kaiser Foundation has put out a wonderful video that you can access, and it's called Health Reform Meets Main Street. And it's a 9-minute video that really puts in perspective what's going on with the health care law and what do we need, what's the controversy about, what's in there, what's going to happen, and what time frame. So I really encourage everyone to take a few minutes, and we're hoping to get that really on Channel 5 so that people can start to understand how is this going to affect our lives.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, what is it?
It's called Health Reform Meets Main Street, and it's by the Kaiser Foundation. And so if you put in kaiser.org, and it's spelled Kaiser, you will come up with their website, and you just put in Health Reform Meets Main Street, and there's a YouTube video that puts it in perspective. What's in the health reform law? It's huge. So of course we don't know.
And neither does the Congress when they vote on it, because it's usually a package of about 5,500 pages, and they never read it. And, they put it through in the middle of the night, so nobody knows what's going through.
Well, there are some good things, though, that I have seen for seniors, and
name one. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
There's several good things, but one of them is that now your annual physical, so every year, not just the first year you join Medicare, which was in the past, is free without copay.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to go for a mammogram, prostate check, some other screenings, health screenings, these are all free without copay to seniors.
Let's run just a little bit of the Kaiser film. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay, here. This is what we recommend, Marianne recommends that you check out. This is just a little bit of it. Here you go.
Except we can't hear the volume.
This is a silent thing. You're supposed to read their lips, Marianne. We don't have the sound, guys, but this gives you an idea what it'll look like when you punch it up, and that's pretty good. Thank you, sir. The Kaiser. Just remember Kaiser, Kaiser, right?
Right.
There
KaiserFoundation.org. And AARP also, if you go onto their website, they have wonderful resources about healthcare reform and health insurance and the changes that are happening.
And for hunger, because 9 million, they claim 9 million seniors, probably a lot more than that, are going hungry now because they can't afford their food. And they have a food program. I guess they're going to package up potatoes or something and send them to seniors. I don't know what it is. But the one thing it does not have in it is the fact that Congress is not giving seniors, a fair COLA, which is why they're getting half a buck for what they used to get $1 just 10 years ago. And it's getting worse and worse because your dollar package actually doesn't have a pound in it anymore. It's only got 12 ounces or 10 ounces.
Well, you know, one of the things that the Office for the Aging has really been trying to advocate with seniors about is the food stamp program, or SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Do you know, Reed, that there are over 8,000 seniors that are eligible for SNAP? But my numbers tell me that only about 2,500 are enrolled in SNAP.
Why is that? Why don't they take it?
It's a federal program. I don't know why they're not taking it. Some of the research thinks that, you know, they think they're taking it away from somebody else. They think it's welfare. This is not welfare. And you know, when Congress does not give a raise to seniors, they believe that they are taking advantage of all these programs. So when you're not taking advantage of them, you're hurting yourself. And really, this is not taking away from somebody else in our county. This is not taking away from another senior. As many people apply for SNAP will get it. So you need to call the Office for the Aging. We can tell you what the guidelines are. You know, you should take advantage of it. And you can use your SNAP funds to buy things at farmers markets. You can, as well as groceries in the store, and you can use them for the senior dining out program. So if you wanted to give some of your SNAP benefit in lieu of giving a donation, you can do that because our services meet USDA requirements. And now it's no longer the paper money that they used to give you. It looks like a little credit card. So it's very unobtrusive. People really don't know. You swipe it in the grocery store just like you do another credit card, and it deducts the benefits.
Okay, so Marianne's advice is to snap it up.
That's right.
You can't get beer with it, though.
No,
But if you want
nutritional food.
If you want beer, what you do is you go down and buy some steaks that are on sale, nice steaks or shrimp, big shrimp.
And then you
go
I'm
up
not listening.
Then you sell it to someone.
I'm not listening.
And then you've got You give them a discount. You get about half your snap's worth.
Yeah.
Snap it up, and then you can buy beer. That's what a number of people do.
You are trouble.
That's what a number of
You
people do.
are trouble. They do that,
they
but
do
we're not.
do that.
We're not going to promote
We're
that.
not advocating
We're
it by any means.
promoting good
Yeah.
nutrition.
But we want you to watch out for the guy
And-
that's walking up the street with some steaks for a half price, because you know what he's doing. He's converting his snap to cash.
Yeah, I
to
haven't
beer.
seen that since I lived in New York City.
Oh,
but,
I've seen it right up here.
There's no reason why a senior in this county should go without food. Between our Meals on Wheels programs, the Office for the Aging Senior Nutrition, and SNAP, there are many resources to get food. And then we also have wonderful partners in the community with the soup kitchens and community kitchens. And so,
And food pantries everywhere.
please,
Westfield has both.
Please take care of yourself. Good
Right.
nutrition is at the core of good health, and no one should go without a meal here.
Right. You should not become part of the 9 million seniors that don't have any food, can't afford their food. 7 million of whom could probably get food stamps for sure. Snap them up. They don't because they're too proud sometimes. But remember, you don't have to peel out the stamps anymore. It's just a credit card. You run it, and nobody even knows you're on food stamps.
Exactly. So take advantage of this. As I said, it brings in more federal money to our area as well. So.
Right. It doesn't cost us anything. Indirectly.
And I wanted to talk about one more program, if I could, because Christmas is coming up. And,
Okay, here we go. Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming, and there are many of our neighbors who are in need. And one of the projects that Office for the Aging started about 7-8 years ago was the Christmas Basket for Seniors program. And to really help those seniors who are kind of in dire straits, who have no family here and may not get a Christmas otherwise. And we have some terrific partners in the community who are helping us with this. The people of Chautauqua Institution are putting together a meal to go with the Christmas bags. And the first year, I think we delivered about 20 bags. Last year and this year, 165
Holy
bags.
mackerel, what a gift.
And it is a gift, and we're looking for donations for that. And if you give the donation to the Office for the Aging, it's going to go to help a local person, one of your neighbors. If you want to help deliver the bags, we would love to have you help deliver 1 or 2 bags.
You have a sleigh and a couple of deer.
We do.
reindeer?
We have Santa. Santa Ray Cheney. It usually helps us with the Christmas basket distribution, and so it's really a way
There you
to
go.
feel great about the holiday.
Send a check over the Office of Aging and say Christmas basket.
or
Caller.
items. You
Our
can-
items. Caller. Hi. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I might have missed this, but when did this start?
When did what start?
This program with the baskets, etc.
It started about 8 years ago. In 2004, Heidi Harding, who's our elder abuse prevention caseworker, and Kate Finch, who's our Dunkirk outreach person, saw a need. A lot of the people that get referred to our prevention program are people that are in a little bit of crisis. They usually, don't have family members, and they're still living in their own homes and just barely making it. But, the Office for the Aging, our mission is to try to keep them in their homes as long as possible. We don't force people into a facility. We want to uphold their wishes. And so if we can help them with a little bit of support with home care services or bringing in other services like Meals on Wheels, we do. But, we wanted to bring a little joy into their life, a little special something. And so we put together these baskets with little gifts and
just
items that
wonderful.
they might need. We put in blankets. And as I said, the last 2 years, the Hurlburt Church and the members of Chautauqua Institution have worked with Walmart to put together a whole Christmas meal.
Yeah,
so that's been
Tops
really.
does that too. They have their brown bag. It's not plastic, it's paper too. And incidentally, engineer Jeff Zook, that squirrel is back. The squirrel is trapped somewhere behind the equipment and is chirping like crazy.
Well, Merry Christmas to the squirrel, too. I mean, they all got to be somewhere.
But we do have a list of items that we're looking for, and I'm hoping to have that posted on our website on Monday, but you can also call the New York Connects helpline, and we can let you know what kind of items we need. But they're usually like personal care items, kitchen items, canned goods.
And what is the name of your website?
If you go onto the Chautauqua County website, and then it says departments, and look up the Office for the Aging.
Okay.
Okay?
All righty.
Thank you
There
so
you go.
much.
And I also have a comment to make about a different subject.
Sure.
It's pertinent to this time, though. Several years ago, when I was first looking into what my options were for Medicare, somebody suggested that I go to the Office for the Aged, which I did in Dunkirk, and they were so helpful. You can't believe how helpful they were to me.
They didn't tell you to get
Wonderful.
lost.
Pardon?
They didn't
And-
tell you to get lost. They opened their arms to you, right?
Absolutely, and they had a sheet with a whole bunch of different programs, and each program, well, the programs themselves send these out to you, but it told what the different programs they had were, what the costs were, what your co-pays would be, and so forth. And they helped me go through them. They didn't push me to make it. They were hands off on making the decision, but they if I had any questions, they answered them, and they were very, very helpful all the way through.
Does it cover your needs? You can change up until December 7th.
That's exactly why I thought perhaps now would be a good pertinent time to say, if you have any questions at all, get hold of the Office of the Aged, because they will be lots and lots of help.
Well, thank you for that. And that's really what we want to do, is we're not selling anything. If you called Independent Health, they're only going to tell you about independent health plans. If you call Blue Cross, they're going to tell you about the Blue Cross plan.
And AARP is going to sell their program to you.
So Office for the Aging will tell you about all the plans, and we're not selling anything. So all we're trying to do is give you information so you can make the choice that's right for you.
You don't even get a little itty-bitty commission?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Nothing? Huh.
But they are they were the most informative place I'd ever been to get information. And so, I mean, I just got what I felt was royal treatment. It was my first time I'd ever had anything to do with old people.
Well, thank you very much,
Well,
Mary Ann's
thank you,
mother.
thank
It's
you.
nice to hear from you again.
Okay, and have a good day, and
Happy Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you.
same to you.
Heap it on. Tell us about HEAP. Is there any money left?
Actually, Congress did just allocate some more money for HEAP. So there is HEAP benefits. HEAP officially opened, I think, a week ago. So those of you who have not applied for HEAP in the past, you are now going to be receiving your application in the mail, and I encourage you to fill it out and get it back as soon as possible. If you're interested,
HEAP, incidentally, is for fuel. Or
yes, this is
for heat.
the home
They
energy.
should call it heat, but they call it HEAP.
Home Energy Assistance Program, and it's a one-time benefit to help pay your heating bills. The money goes directly to the whatever your heating company is, whether that's National Fuel or another heating company. It will also help you if your furnace breaks down and you need it repaired or replaced. But you need to call our office first. You can't have it replaced and then expect to be reimbursed for the cost. So,
Yeah, the funding is pretty slim. I have a wood-burning stove, and I applied for HEAP, and it took me a while and some paperwork, and they sent me a log.
Oh,
I'm only kidding. They
I
sent me
think
2
you
logs.
are kidding.
They sent me
I
2
think you're
logs.
kidding. But the financial thresholds for that is for one person living alone, if you make $2,138 or less a month, you may be eligible for HEAP. Or 2 people in the home, it's $27.96 income.
Yeah,
so
you
if your
gotta get in
income is
early.
that or under, you can apply for HEAP. If you applied last year, but either lost or misplaced your application for this year, because you should have gotten it directly from New York State, call our office and we can tell you how to replace that application. Because even though we had about 3,000 people apply, I think we felt that there were still about 500 applications that were not returned this year. So there's many people out there who either misplaced their HEAP application that came in the mail, or I don't know what happened to it, but call our office if you can't find your HEAP application, and we'll send you another one.
There you go. What's your number?
Call the New York Connects helpline at 753-4582. I believe your technical support has it on a screen. There you go.
753-4582, and that'll get you right to your office?
That'll get right to our Nancy Papalea, our New York Connects operator. And she'll also tell you about other programs that might benefit you. Really, seniors should be calling this number for any kind of questions that they have about programs and services for seniors. Not just those that are in Office for the Aging, but anything that might be in the community.
You might need, you could probably call for Viagra. But they turned that out, huh?
No. But we have a database. So if you're looking for a service to help you stay in your home, and this is also a helpline for people who are disabled who are under 60.
Okay, what's the number again for that helpline?
It's 753-4582.
Well, whatever your needs are, you can at least discuss it and get some direction, right?
Right. Good. Exactly.
We're talking to Marianne Spanos. Dr. Spanos is the director, long-suffering head of the Office for the Aging, and she's very concerned because they cut back at every level on our funding, and it was rumored, somebody told me they saw a trailer heading down to the park and it had Office for the Aging written on it. Phone call. You want to take one?
Sure.
Okay, good morning, caller. That's a rumor I haven't been able to prove, incidentally.
Good morning, Mary Ann and
Well, good
Reed.
morning.
This is Linda. How are you? It's great to see you on the show this morning, Mary Ann.
Thank you, Linda. Always good to be here.
She always gives up her Saturday mornings to let the public hear what's going on here. And she's on the inside.
Right. Well, I just wanted to say it's great to see you on the show, and all the information that you give and all the services that you direct and help us provide. It's a great place to work, and I know our seniors are very grateful for all the things that happen at the Office for the Aging.
Well,
Okay.
thank you, Linda, and I know they appreciate your program. Linda runs the Senior Employment Program, and we have many people who are placed in government and not-for-profits and get training so that they can find another job.
Computers.
And they also give computer training at many areas. You were mentioning the Westfield Library,
Yeah.
and one of Linda's coaches, George, is there, and he's ready to give computer lessons to people. So call and find out more about that.
There's no excuse for being computer ignorant in this day and age. Most seniors are very good at it because they use it to talk to their kids.
Right, and I think seniors surprise themselves. We've had many seniors who've come to work for our office through Linda's program, and we're a little bit shy about getting on the computer. And it's just amazing to me. One of our longtime senior aides, Rose Van Volen from Mayville here. I won't give Rose's age away, but Rose is quite up there, and she does a beautiful job in our office putting things into the computer. So I'm very proud of her, and I hope, and she's really been a wonderful help to our office.
Rose is great, and she's very dependable, and she's precise, and she gets the job done.
Exactly, and she shows up for work all the time, every day, rain or shine.
Well, thanks again, and have a great
We're outta
weekend
here.
and week.
We're out of here. Thank you, caller. Send in a self-addressed envelope. I'll send you some money for that old man you have there. About 15 seconds to close off. Uninterrupted, all your time. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, and I just want to remind seniors there are many things that we should be grateful for during this holiday season, the roof over our head, and so I hope you will think of other seniors who might not be as fortunate, not have family and friends around them, and think about our Christmas Basket for Seniors project. Also remember that we're here to help you. Whatever your concern or issue that a senior is facing, call Office for the Aging. We're happy to help you and to find a service that will meet your needs.
Thank you very much. Marianne Spanos doing the job. You come back soon?
Sure.
You give up your Saturday mornings all the time, and your Greek family must be getting a little tired of this.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. And Chuck Kelsey, thank you. Devin Taylor, thank you. Chris Burt, Randy Burt, Chris Ramaker, Jeff Zook, Don Zenz, John Hamels, and all those people out there. The last caller, sorry, but Marianne will be back. You can contact her then. May all that is proud and true and noble abide with you. Make sure you remember, as Marianne suggested, that one person who has no family, who's feeling a little bit lonely and a little bit low on Christmas, set an extra place at your table, friends, and invite them over. Thank you very much for listening, and may all that is proud and true and noble again abide with you. I'm Reed Powers.